You see SNS's video, their little short they did?
I did not.
They posted, I call them a short block killer fuel pump that exploded.
Why is it a short block killer?
CP4.
Yeah,
'Cause it spins the
exploded
cranker.
C4.
Was it the one that was in their test truck?
I don't know. They just posted a video of it. It was a little short, just like zooming around it with spooky music. I call them short block killers because they destroy the short block.
What up, DP? What up, Ryan?
Normally they'll set
Hey,
P0016.
yo! Zoodad, we need a status update. I've been thinking about you.
Be good in the hood, baby.
I have
Right.
status update for Zoodad. We need to update that gateway module.
Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this.
Hey, Eric,
You
you,
gotta-
should turn on screen share.
Yep.
You got, hey, you got.
Oh,
Let's already know, yeah.
I do that.
Go ahead and turn on screen share.
share.
We talking about food again tonight?
No.
Please don't. I'm really hungry.
I mean,
already
we
had
could
to-
talk about seeing sounds. Make people think
And
we're
tasting
tripping out.
colors.
Can't see sounds.
Seeing
Yeah, you
sounds,
can
huh?
see. Look right above me. You can see
Smelling
sounds.
pictures.
You should
Cody's
screen-
got something interesting. If you guys are familiar with how we have to communicate to the vehicles now, we have to use the thing called the VCM, but the VCM 3? You can
VCMM.
do- Or, oh, I thought you said VCM 3 last.
VCMM.
VCMM. You could do some cool things, and I have not done this. I don't have a VMM. Nor do I want one, but I mean, if I had to get one and it was free, then maybe I would. What up, Wrenching Mafia? King Rex, what up, BP? Hello.
I mean, they're $4,600 for the advanced kit. So
But
Hey, you
they've
said you're
done
buying
this.
mine and shipping it, right?
I thought you were gonna buy mine and ship
Well, if you
All
got
right, deal.
two,
it.
maybe they'll give us a bundle for 3.
Let me see what I can do.
I've got one for my
Um,
cell phone coming. I got an oscilloscope for the cell phone coming. I'm gonna see if I can do it with that.
You get it on Rotunda or
The what? The one that I got?
yeah.
No, I got it from Amazon.
Oh, well,
It's a little Chinese one. We'll see if it actually can do this. See
is worth
sounds.
two. What up, Crowdy? Milkman Crowdy in the comments.
crowd. Milkman.
Crowdy. All right, so this dang you ain't working strike. Has it the guys who have these trucks on order, have you gotten any notices saying that your stuff's either axed or permanently put on hold until further notice? I've been wondering stuff. Where's Cheddar
I had a
DS8?
dude message me on my channel saying that he got his, and like a ton of the stuff that he ordered on his truck wasn't even there. Like they took, like he got the truck and he was so unhappy with what showed up.
Did he get a refund for what wasn't there?
So supposedly something like that. He got some money back or something, and he was like, "Man, this is not what I wanted at all." But the thing is, there was an update today, like 5 or 6 hours ago, that said Stellantis people had scabs coming in, and they were about 200 to 400 scabs came in and take the UAW workers' jobs to temporarily take their jobs or something. They were trying to stop them from driving through, but the police made them get out of the road because they have the right to work as well. And if they're not working, they can move them in. It's part of the gig, man. They know that. And then they said something about Ford is possibly at the end of an agreement. They may sign on it, and it moved from 23 to like 25% on one of like the news agencies that was reporting on it from Detroit. And it said that they're at 25% now. They went from 23 to 25%, but with total compensation package, it looks like a little over 30, which means that's a big boost. That's close to the 40% that they wanted. I mean, it's better than where they were at. they need to accept it and go back to work.
We have a question from Dave P. Question for the techs, plural. Coolant filtration made a lot of sense with the 7.3 ESD. How about for the 6.7? You know, that's funny. I see, if you guys watched the video from yesterday, that truck had a Sinister diesel coolant filtration contraption on the passenger side over the hot side charge tube. I remember that from 7.3, 6.0 days, but the 6.7, I can't say I've seen a coolant filter on a 6.7, let alone have had any issues with cooling system like that sand from the casting like we did in the 6.0s.
I mean, those are all compressed graphite blocks anyway, so
These have been pretty clean. But if
other
you're-
than RTV.
yeah. Oh, I heard them talking about Bumpy Cake. Like it's gonna
What?
be permanently gone because
What?
this bakery that was making them has closed. And
What?
yeah, I was like, Bumpy Cake, no way. Yes, my
I don't
voice.
know. What is that?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
It's
It's a
made
Detroit thing.
by
Bumpy cake?
Uh,
Like lumpy?
Sanders. It's made by Sanders, and it's
I'll,
like think of a piece like a screen share
I'll
that
find out.
Cody.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
watch. You
See,
guys
now
know
we're
what
talking about
Bumpy
food
Cake
again.
is.
And we made it 10 minutes.
You guys know what
Not even
Bumpy
that.
Cake.
We did it. We're all like, food?
I can I'll ruin the food conversation.
Let's do it.
I can ruin it, I think. I
Bumpy
shot
cake.
a frog today.
You shot a what?
I shot a frog,
Oh,
Yuck.
Bumpy Cake.
like with a gun. I shot a frog.
So there's nothing left.
He was in my yard and I ran over half of him. So
can't
It's like
say
a
I've
big
ever
Swiss
seen
cake roll.
that
Oh,
should
man,
ruin-
that
that
looks
should
like-
ruin the appetite for everybody.
That looks like two little Debbie's on bun cake. That looks delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
looks
does look
so good.
delicious.
Bumpy cake.
It is
Food Network?
delicious.
That's what it's called.
That looks delicious.
I used to order it every time we went to Ford's Garage, Michigan.
Hey Tom, tell Gordon Bombay to maybe head up like 10:30-ish.
Ish.
Frog pillar. Mine's been delayed 3 times. Have a 24 on order. Damn. I wonder what's different if it's going to be the same as a 23. I haven't even seen or heard anybody talking about 24s yet. Wow.
Oh, no, they're all
Save
gonna
the
have 22.
frogs
They're gonna have 22 front ends on them because they can't make the 23s.
in the eyes of an angel.
Of the
Are we
Ford
doing the
truck.
ASPCA now?
Following Cliff Notes. Saw some nasties. Yep. Okay, cool, Tom. Cool. 3.2. Oh no. All right, what do we got? A-Rod, if you're going to be the president of Power Stroke Engines, back away from this cabinet. Obviously, have these discussions behind closed doors. Bill or Ron didn't have these types of interactions. Bill and Ron, I have reached out to Bill several times. I know he's a busy dude. Had a lot going on with his business, obviously. But I sent some mail, called, always commented. It was I wanted to get a hold of him. I wanted to, say what up, kind of, extend the olive branch. Yo, what up, man? But I did, however, get to meet Diesel Tech Ron's oldest son, Ford Boss, actually came through, and we had a meetup at my old place of employment. And his son actually met up with us and was able to come down from the Lansing area, which is kind of in the middle of our state. And yeah, it was really cool.
He was a good guy. He was a real good guy. He had a good personality and stuff, real humble, and I liked him. I thought he was pretty cool.
Hey, what's up? Thanks, Wrenching Mafia. Do you think trucks will go down in price soon? Oof.
No.
Oof.
I don't think
After
so.
after
No.
prepping this 23, that was $99,660. And they had an FX4 emblem on the left side of the bed and a Tremor emblem on the other side of the bed.
Oh my
I'm
god.
starting to wonder myself what in the hell is going on. And I
So
think
was
it's
it a
kind of sad. It was an FX4. It was a truck just like mine. But instead of
So it
having
wasn't-
FX4 on the other side, it just says straight up Tremor.
Wow.
I think these trucks are gonna be new trucks are gonna be not accessible for the middle class after.
I think Command is going to sharpen the ball because people can't afford it. I read a kind of scary statistic today, and it appears that auto loan defaults are at a 30-year high.
Yeah,
Ooh.
my repo buddy I just talked to him the other day, and he went from doing 2 or 3 a day, and now he's doing 5 to 6 a day.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what happens
Um,
after auto loans default?
Home loans.
Mortgage.
Mortgages.
Yep.
And
People
you know
stop
what?
Cool.
their car note first, and their credit cards, and then their mortgage.
They're
Yep, 'cause
taking
they can't get to work, so they stop making money.
they're
And
taking
credit
those,
card is also an all-time high.
they're taking the systems out of the shops as well, like the stuff that we use where like people can come in and finance their repair through what the hell is it called? Qualify, and then
It's a
there's the
third
other one.
Fidelis and all the other ones. Fidelity.
Yeah.
They're taking a lot of them out of a lot of states. They're like getting in trouble, but also at the same time, a lot of people are defaulting on the repairs and stuff like that. So it's just, we're worried that it's going to happen to us next because we just got it in our shop for like lower income people. And some of the shop owners at these business meetings that I've been going to are saying that's a huge part of their income, and they're worried that they're going to take it out of their
Wow.
shops because of the amount of people defaulting.
Yeah.
I actually do not agree with those third-party finance companies for repairs because their interest rate is horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
makes
like
people
it's
poorer.
39. Yeah,
Mhm.
It
It
does.
does.
And if
into
you,
debt, bro.
It's
Yeah.
it's like
If-
they're almost
if you
setting you
look-
up for failure.
Yeah.
If you look
The
at it-
system's rigged to keep poor people poor.
And if you look at it, they're not being completely honest about it because whenever they came in and they set it up in the shop, I went in the computer and I pulled up the system and I said, let's say Eric wants to do a $2,000 repair with my shop. And I put Eric's name in, basic information and stuff. And then right underneath it, I put the amount financed, $2,000. And then it went $2,200 or whatever, right off the hit. That's what would end up being paid without the interest. And I said, well, why? Let me break this down. And I blew it up. And it says there's a $150 charge in there on top of the application fee that they put in that they don't even tell you ahead of time. They don't tell the shop
Yeah.
that. So the customer sees that and the customer flips out on you because they think, well, you're trying to take advantage of me. You didn't tell me this
Right.
other $150 was here. But now you make me look like an idiot whenever the customer's smart enough to break down the paperwork. And I didn't even know that was going to be on there.
So what's the
Right.
$150 charge?
It's for some kind of like filing paperwork, something, blah, blah,
Paperwork.
blah. And it's
Paying
some
to keep it on the
Administration
server?
fee.
yeah, whatever, just call it what Cliff
Like a-
said, an administration fee.
It's the
Like a
break
dealer
even.
documentation fee?
It's the
Yeah.
break even. Everyone has to pay it fee because the default rate is so high on the
Yeah.
bad loans that they're handing out. They have to make
Yep.
money somehow. That's all that is.
Thanks, Wrenching Mafia, coming back again. I got a 23 F350 Tremor. A lot of people telling me I should have waited a year or two. I don't know. I don't know if I personally want a 23. I don't like the 23s for a couple of reasons. One, I don't like all of the connectivity, all of the like my 20 is just on the cusp of that, just over the cusp of the 22, or I'm sorry, the 21s were even worse. The 22s were a hybrid into 23s for what was to come. And now the 23s are here. It's like, I don't know. But
Now-
I think it's going to be a different video or different vlog type talking video. But, you know, there's some interesting information that I found online about the expected life range for these trucks, and it was pretty disgusting. And My range, I think, for my Illuma duties, my top Illuma duties, I think is going to be 2018 to probably 2021. If you got a 22, okay. Would I get a 22? If you want to give it to me, cool. If I had to buy an Illuma duty, I probably be looking for a nice used 18 to 21. Just these new ones, I don't know about them, man. I like the looks, the front end's starting to grow on me. I wasn't too sure about them in the beginning, but just like the 6.4, that front end, we didn't like that. It was different. The hood went up with the grill, or the grill went up with the hood.
Headlights
And now that,
rotated.
yeah, that's done and gone. We don't.
I can't deal with the OTA. Everything is
Mhm.
OTA updatable now in the 23s.
I don't
So-
like that either.
So even if you could do the dirty deed to them, you could come out one morning and not be dirty deed anymore.
So
Yeah.
the other thing that I've been seeing a lot of, and this is not just Fords, this is everybody that has over the air updates. Lots of cars are updating and stranding people at malls, in drive-throughs, in parking garages at the airport. I saw a rental car that did that to somebody when they were stopped in bumper traffic, and it shut itself off because it was
Wow.
stop, and they got stuck on the highway and had to get towed. That's the number one reason why I would be like absolutely not over the air updates. If it's gonna brick, if it's gonna have a problem, I want it at the dealership when it happens so that they can handle it.
Well, look at
Yeah.
that Nautilus that the Ford engineer screwed up at the magazine company. That Ford engineer flew out there to the magazine company that they do all the testing and stuff before it even goes to the public, or they do it while it's just released to the public. And the guy was doing an update to the modules for some discovery stuff on, like, are the technicians charging us like the right amount of time for programming and stuff? Am I going to have the same experience that they do when I go try to update these modules? And the OTA was left on while the guy was programming with his laptop. And the OTA went to go through and update while he was programming, and it smoked the BCM. It
Ooh.
smoked the
Hmm.
it smoked
Oh,
multiple
yeah.
modules. It smoked the,
Ooh.
yeah. And he was like, I think I did something really bad here and I'm not going to be able to fix it. So I better jump back on a plane and head back to Detroit. You're going to need to take this to the Ford dealer over here, Dundee Ford, and
Let somebody else deal with it. Yeah.
let the
Yeah.
technician go through it and stuff, because I think he's going to be replacing a lot of stuff. And it took me like 19 hours of work to get everything reprogrammed, all the frequencies back online, the modules replaced, everything reset inside the system, all because that OTA was left on whenever programming was going on.
Wrenching Mafia, appreciate you, man. Thanks again for coming through. Tell us a little more about your truck. Is it, what color did you get? Is it long bed, short bed? What trim level did you get?
Just send the VIN.
Yes, on the VIN. We'll look up the OTA. If it was a trimmer, did you get the winch? If you did they install it correctly? Did they do it like I did? Yeah, now it's correct. What a turd.
Hmm.
Fluffy
What's
in the house. Let's
What
hope
up,
What's
Fluffy?
funny?
program doesn't glitch out during programming. Let's not even think about the vehicle being out of warranty and now the cost falls on the customer. Don't even start.
You know,
What's even
it's
funnier
There's
is when
another
it does OTA.
That
A lot of the
freaking
times when it
sucks.
does mess up, it actually messes up the as-built data on the server.
It's-
Mhm.
it's kind of
So
funny he
then you
says
gotta
something about
contact
that.
hotline. Then you gotta contact hotline because the as-built screwed up, so they gotta fix the as-built.
So I did what was it, a Fusion? I think it was. This was back when I was still at a dealer. She had a Sync 3 in her car or whatever it was, or 3G, 3G or 4G, whatever it was. And her cell phone would never connect to the car. And come to find out, it was the module, but it wasn't covered under warranty for some reason. The module wasn't even available. She had to upgrade to the 4G in order for
Yep.
her phone to work. but they wouldn't cover it under warranty. It's like, okay, so you know her module is bad, her phone's not going to work, but you won't even help her out with getting the new module.
Yep,
So
that's
this
when
lady
the
was,
two, that's when the
Go ahead.
2G and 3G was removed from the spectrum.
Mhm. So the 3G wasn't even, it was obsolete, not available at all anywhere. She had to upgrade to the 4G, but warranty wouldn't cover it.
How do you explain that to the customer? Well,
That's the service advisor's job, not mine.
yeah, right. Yeah.
That's my job.
Right.
I'm the one that has to take ass chewing. Well, if you want this to work right, unfortunately, Ford says they're not helping you and you're gonna have to upgrade and it's all on you. How do you feel about that?
So,
So
sorry.
we tried to do a goodwill for her and they
Yeah.
wouldn't even do the goodwill. They wouldn't.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks, man.
She was pretty upset.
I've been getting so many dealer cars at my shop because they're like customers are the wait times and can't get parts and stuff like that. So they're just I got all kinds of Fords in my shop right now. All
Me,
kinds.
me too.
I was gonna ask you, how's that going? How you doing?
It's going well. It's going well. Been busy every day.
How's the stress level?
Not too bad. I was a little stressed out this morning because I'm trying to make a bunch of stuff happen. I needed to get this DCR installed today so that tomorrow I have a full working day because this gentleman's here from Washington State, Seattle. He drove all the way from Washington to have me put a DCR on some PPE stuff, change his
There
rear
you
diff
go.
fluid.
That's awesome.
There you go,
Yeah,
man.
super cool dude and super cool truck. He bought a Super Cab F450 2019 dually incomplete vehicle completed by Ford Motor Company, and he has a whole camper assembly on the frame, like it's part of the truck. Hey, thanks,
Yeah.
Eric. Thank you. We appreciate you. And it's a big bitch, man. But it's nicely done. It's all
But you're staying
fiberglass.
busy though. You're staying busy and you're
Yeah.
happy though.
Yeah. It's cool. I'm seeing more people than what I would have been at the other institution. So it's been cool
Yeah.
to see a bunch of people, show up and
The
show their
thing is,
support.
you're doing your thing, man, and you're directly connecting with the customer, and it's you and them. It's like mano y
Mhm.
mano, and it's a more personal relationship, and that's how you build. That's how you build shit. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
it is.
That's how you do it. So
We've
I'm-
talked about it. We've talked about it before, networking, like networking with you, and like remember when we first
I
had
remember
you
it.
on, and dude, we fixed that fucking truck
yeah,
live, dude. It was
Yeah.
like that was the coolest shit ever, and it was cool to be able to network and do that from across the way, and then here we get I do cars guy and
Yeah.
Cliffy Whiffy over here being our phosphorus man, bearded Ford
Yeah.
tech. It's been a cool uh yellow brick road walk to meet everybody, and now we're gonna go to SEMA.
Eric has been a huge part of my life, like over the last few months, because with him knowing what he does about European cars and kind of where to guide me in the direction to go. Like if I have a question, I can call him up and he can at least point me in somewhat of a direction where I can kind of find where I need to go. And shit, he sent me engines and stuff already for cars that we've had success with and stuff like that. So it's the journey and the people that we meet and how you build those relationships with them, man.
That's right.
It's kind of like
That's-
Ray saved
that's
my
what's
ass with a fuel filter on a Chevrolet. I had to call him.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
I was like, I don't work on these things, man. How do I do this
How do I?
without breaking it?
It's amazing, like when you need to find something out, we all collectively have here over 1 million people that we can ask.
Yeah.
Like that's freaking huge, and it's cool to be a part of that community because you can pretty much find out anything you need by just asking a question and have your following put their 2 cents in and
I had one
say,
of your subscribers like a couple weeks ago. He said, "Hey, I'm a cop." And I don't know, it's one of your subscribers. He's got a Super Duty, but he's also a cop. And he got a hold of me. He's like, "Hey, you think maybe I could call you up?" And the guy calls me up, and he didn't want to give any personal information and stuff like that, which I respect that. The guy calls me up and he says, "Hey, I'm a cop, man, and I know you did a video on this, but when I got out of my squad car, it was fine, and the car was running. I went to go get back in, and now I can't shift it into gear. It's a 21 and it won't shift." And I was like, "Hey, man, are you a pretty tall guy, like big feet, big hand kind of guy, one of the big motherfuckers to slap a motherfucker and feel it for a year kind of thing?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got 14-inch shoe and stuff like that." I said, "All right, you see down there by the
God
brake pedal?
damn.
Look at that switch down there by the brake pedal. I bet you it's hanging out down there. All those cop car explorers, a lot of the cops, they have that
It's
problem,
interlock.
and they'll click it, huh?"
You're talking about the anti-theft device?
No, that's not what it
Oh,
is.
oh,
The brake switch in those explorers is
Mm.
so easy to kick them off. The guys with bigger feet and stuff like that, the police officers get in and out of the cars quick, and they'll kick that switch and it'll just barely turn, and it'll come out of the hole just enough
mm.
to where when you go back in there to hit the brake and go to shift it, it won't go into gear. And he reached down there and he just pushed it back in the hole and turned it a little bit, and it clipped in. And I said, "Now shift the car." And he said, "You motherfucker." I
That'll
was
be
like,
1 hour diag, please.
like,
Right?
that's what all this is about, man. I love being able to help the people that follow us and talk to them and build relationships with them and I hate to say this, but I love the fact that I'm not at the dealer anymore, because now I can really build those friendships and stuff with
Tell
the
the truth.
customers and our followers. It's just so much better for me to connect with them that way and give them exactly what they want and build that
Porch-
value. Huh?
Go ahead. I was gonna say Porch Monkey called me the other day. He was working on something, I think it was an 06 Explorer, and it was
Yeah.
having some brake light issues and stuff. I was like, hey, we're gonna skip like 95% of this pinpoint test. I just need you to unplug the brake light switch, and then I need you to jump pin 1 and pin 2. Do the brake lights come on? Yeah, they do. You got a faulty switch. So
Yeah.
it just like that, like over the phone.
Yeah.
That
I
was
mean,
pretty cool.
it's the value in what we build into our relationships with our customers, our subscribers and stuff like that. It's the value that we give them that they're not going to receive from anybody else.
Yeah.
It's the people that follow us and confide in us, and they see how we're friends with each other and how we treat each other. And then we treat them with that same respect, and we give them that value, and then you get lifelong friends. Sorry, I don't mean to be in a sappy tangent, but that's how I'm feeling.
Man, this is a side of Rich that we're not used to.
Sorry.
He must have been doing too much training.
I can honestly say that you guys are going to see a big change in my attitude and how I like approach things from more of a professional standpoint. Over the last few months of going through all the management training, communication training, customer service training, my life has changed. It's really changed a lot about how I communicate with people and how I treat people. It's not like it was really bad before. I was just very, very lacking, and now I know how to adjust and change those things to make myself much better. That's all.
So when I was 18 years old, there's very few moments in my life where I can remember like life altering advice. And my friend John, has since passed. He was like a 70-something-year-old wizard in the basement of 2 houses, would rebuild turbochargers and build hybrid turbos and all this crazy stuff. And I remember talking to him on many occasions, and one of the things he told me, he said, you'll never make friends by being an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like, if the best case scenario is that you make them feel bad for being the asshole by being nice to them. Even it doesn't matter how nasty people get, how mean people get. If you treat them like people, and they're the ones that are standing out, and they're the ones that are carrying on and throwing a fit, they're going to realize, or you're going to realize, you don't need to deal with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was that?
What up,
What was that other
Fluffy?
one? Somebody in the room. Well, was it? There's always somebody in the room that knows more than you do. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
I can't
And then-
stand watching content where people are like, this is the way this is the way to do it, and you shouldn't do it any other way, and I know everything, because there's not a single person out there that knows everything. I can't stand that.
But
Yeah.
I am
don't
an
know.
asshole, so
Well, yeah,
I
the thing is,
acknowledge that.
the thing that there's a difference. Most people that are actually assholes do not think that they're actually assholes.
Or what's that other one? The
Funny though,
The
so
question-
I think he gets a pass. He's funny, and I think if you're gonna be an ass, you at least have to be funny about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cliff is one of those. He's like one of the little cute assholes. Come here, Cliffy.
Cliffy Whiffy. He's one of those ones your grandma goes, come on, little boy, let me see you get the sugar.
Oh, shit.
Nothing,
What-
Fluffy. Nothing. We can't hear you. Is your thing plugged in right here?
That's what she said.
No. Okay.
Is Fluffy in here? Oh yeah, there he is. What's up?
Yeah.
My
Fluff's up in
screen was
here.
too small. I didn't even see you.
Yeah, I just did the same thing. I was like, really?
See it either.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Oh,
Stay tuned.
We can't hear you.
Sorry.
Look, he's not here, man.
Porch Monkey, it's a community,
Finally.
Rich, where I'm at now. Finally, I'm home, found my shop. If no one talks or shares, it hurts everyone and continues to give people a bad reputation, or people just trying something new. And, you know, I remember Rich had got into, I don't know, it was somebody or somebody was giving you a hard time. And they're like, look, man, just because you don't know doesn't make it wrong. There's another way to do this same
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, look,
yeah. There
Or-
there was a recent. I feel really bad for it, so I kind of went back and I deleted the video after I thought about it, because, like I said, like Eric pointed out, I normally don't. The way I approach things and the way I'm talking lately is a little bit different, and people are like, we kind of like it. This is not. We're not used to this. So I thought about it. I reflected on it and stuff, and I said, you know, that wasn't right. But there's actually a Ford tech that's a foreman at a dealership, and I found out who he was, and he said some stuff online or whatever, and I figured out
That
who
guy.
he was, and I approached him.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
figured out who he
wow.
was, and he was actually one of my followers that had been asking me questions and supporting me for quite a while, and was like a nice dude, actually was nice to me and asked me questions about things and communicated. And I made a video and I kind of called him out and I said, so this is you. You're the guy that we don't like in the industry, that causes these problems and stuff and causes riff and turmoil and stuff. I said some other words. I'm just gonna talk about this a different way, in a nice way. And I thought about what I said and how I approached it. And I was like, you know what? I shouldn't even have put the time into that. I should have just let that go. I should have just not even cared about it and didn't put that energy into it, because I gave somebody else energy from me, time from me, that I'm not going to get back, and they didn't deserve. So it's one of those things where in this field, you start building relationships with customers and stuff like that. It's very important to hold on to them, but also at the same time, I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this, Aaron or Cody or whoever else in the dealership environment, there's some techs that work at the dealers that they kind of they thrive on drama. They got to have some drama. They have
Oh,
to
yeah.
have some drama going on.
That dealer life breeds it.
And the dealer life,
SDS.
in the video that I deleted, I felt bad about it, but I was like, you know what? The dealer life does breed this into these technicians. And it's almost like they have to have it, or something ain't right if it's not there. And I'm so glad that I don't have to be part of that anymore.
Mhm.
I'm so glad.
I have a video coming out talking about everything.
Oh,
but
I will.
it's I just feel so good to be out of that environment,
Yeah.
Less stressed, aren't you?
man. It's a different kind of stress, and I'm not saying it's greener on this side of the fence, but I am just,
It's
man,
easier to breathe. It's easier to breathe.
man, bro.
When you become your own boss, it's not all that people make it out to be. For one, it's a different, like Aaron said, it's a different type of stress. It's a different type of lifestyle that you can now mitigate and most of the time control. All the time you can't control it. You don't know what's going to happen from day to day. All you can do is try to do the best with it with what you can. But I'm so glad that this is the stress that I have now versus the stress that I had then.
I agree. It's that it's like I mean, just the Ford and their policies, and I haven't had to type any stories. I haven't had to
Bro.
look up no operations, no
Aaron,
pinpoint. I don't give a
I
fuck about
forgot to
pinpoint
tell
tools.
you, the governor here is now gonna try to renege on the HB 3940 law.
And take it away.
He's already in the process of voting to take it
What?
away. So the technicians are gonna lose their 1.5 times the labor rate in this state now. And this was supposed to be like an indefinite thing, but now something happened with these manufacturers since the strike and everything took place. Now they want to take the times away from the technicians.
Man, that state is so,
Wow.
I'm not even gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're not gonna get into that.
And we know.
Yeah,
Everyone knows.
everybody knows.
Uh-oh.
If you know, you know.
What?
Deal.
Just in. Look what CP's garage just found. Just in. Look at that.
Reach the
That was
deal.
minutes ago.
What? Let's.
The
what-
potential deal.
What? Look at that. What?
You made the mistake of turning on screen
That's
share.
awesome.
Yes,
Wow. Look at that.
idiot.
Put a little happy tree right down there.
Happy
Better than what
tree.
we drew last night.
Scroll down. Yeah. Scroll down some. Let's see. What do we got? What did they agree on? What are they gonna get? They gonna work 30-hour week and get paid for 50?
Yeah,
So,
Let's see.
so we're just gonna pay them more to not put cars together the right way.
Oh, let's
Detroit
see.
I
Free
mean,
Press. Look at that.
Someone's got to
People-
say it. Like, what does everybody else in the world get out of this deal?
Yeah,
Garbage.
they don't respect us for our views and stuff like that because
Can you guys hear it?
Oh,
This is
no.
what everybody
Oh.
else in the world gets. You get to pay 30 to 40% more for a vehicle.
That's exactly what it is. That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're the same truck 3 years ago. It is $30,000 to $35,000 more
Mhm.
now with the
Yeah.
same equipped.
And that's
There
not
is-
with all the add-ons on it either
Yeah.
that they put on
Oh,
the
You guys, hey,
addendum.
wait, we need to really be thinking big picture here. There's actually a very strong bonus side, plus side to our inflation problem and our housing market being through the roof and cost of everything being through the roof, like $200,000 pickup trucks. There's an advantage to that. What it is it's more tax revenue. So the Fed can collect more in taxes, so we could actually borrow more money to service the debt. See, so this is all a good thing.
They're gonna crash eventually.
See, this is all actually a good thing because the more
I-
money we have to move around, the more
I
tax.
think- I
revenue.
think manufacturers have figured out they can make less vehicles, charge more for them, and make the same amount of money.
Well, a lot of people believe that this is a controlled way for them to come off of what was already there because there was inventory there that they needed to get rid of. And if you don't produce and you're not making things, then they're going to buy up what was already there so they can thin all that out. And then they can start producing things again. So there's so many different stories like that are going on about this. But what I don't get is how these people expect to, they want to work 4, but get paid 5. And then they want all these benefits and stuff like that. And whenever you factor it in, whenever I factored it in, I did it on a pay scale. So we went from 1.5 million workers in the UAW back in like the 70s or something like that. When the imports and stuff came in, it kind of thinned everything out. We're down to about 380. If you took 100 and let's just say 130,000 people, and you gave them $15,000 more per year in, let's just say, salary and benefit package times 130,000 people, I think that comes out to like $1.95 billion. And that's only 33% of the 380,000 UAW workers. Then you factor in a $20,000 increase in package or a 30,000. You're talking, this could go anywhere between $7 to $12 billion more per year in payout for employees over the next 4 years. Who foots
This
the
deal
bill?
was only made to hold on to the employees until they replace them with robots.
I am a robot. I want to buy you up.
And that's exactly what I've been telling everybody that wants to get smart on my channel and stuff. Like, okay, I'm not going to be mad or anything, but whenever you get replaced, come back here and apologize for not seeing the bigger picture and trying to be a jerk to me and stuff like that. Because I guarantee you what's going to end up happening is you guys are going to accept a deal. Some of you are going to go back to work. A lot of people have already lost their jobs. A lot of supporting unions have already lost their jobs. A lot of people that were non-union have already lost their jobs. And a big portion of the UAW workers wanted to go back to work already. They never got the chance to vote on anything because Fain never gave them the opportunity to until he squeezed as much as he could out of them. So we're to a point now where, good night, babe. Love you. So now we're to a point where it's out. You're going to go back to work and you're going to accept the deal. But I guarantee you they're working on your replacement. I guarantee you.
Well, the thing is, it's just like anything else. The manufacturers see this as a cost and they're going to find a way to drop it. They're going to find a way. They're like, hey, what's our expensive variable here? What's our most expensive variable? They're going to work frivolously to fix it.
Yeah, sure they are. Just like this whole HB 3940 thing that's going away. How much money was paid to make that go away? You know, it's there's things that they're doing them to. They'll get back what they need. It'll all wash out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at McDonald's and Wendy's making completely automated restaurants. So hey, you could do the same thing with cars.
They're squeezing us from both sides. They're squeezing us on small dollar transactions, and they're squeezing us on the really big dollar transactions. It's closing
I mean,
in. Everything
I guess for our secondary market businesses, it's good for us because it makes people hold on to their cars longer and they want to repair them. They want to spend the money on them because the new cars are so expensive. It's more expensive to fix cars now than it was 3 years ago, but it's not 40% more expensive to fix cars.
Right.
What's crazy is 40% more to buy it.
You still have people out there spending the money.
Yeah.
Like how?
Yeah.
You know?
Are you seeing any effects yet? And since the last couple of weeks, we asked you like any part problems?
Our problems, no, we're not really affected by it. But who's to say it's not gonna, because Nissan still has vehicles getting made in the US. Who's to say that's not gonna trickle onto our side, on the foreign side?
Does Nissan do they have unions in their factories?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Where is
I know a
the
lot of
factory?
a lot of the import stuff or whatever, they don't need unions because they pay their workers more and they give them a better compensation package than the American guys do.
But with the inflation, everybody's wanting more this, more that.
Yeah.
I want more pay. Well, we're going through it at the dealer.
But see, let me ask you this: the companies that make, let's just say, an AC compressor for Ford, for Stellantis, for GM, aren't they the same companies that make it for Nissan as well?
I have no idea. I know ours are made by Vallejo.
Yeah. Vallejo makes a lot of GM and Ford parts.
Oh, so it's basically the same
Yeah.
company making all the parts for all the manufacturers.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if you did see parts availability. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with some of the stuff, it's application specific. So, if they're not getting orders for parts and for one make, they're gonna start making them for somebody else. I mean, they're not gonna.
They'll shift gears.
Yeah, I can tell you that I've noticed I've noticed requests for parts that I would normally never sell because they can't buy it new.
Yeah.
A lot of I had a 12 F250 that was hit real hard, and I've had people that want to buy I had a guy that wanted to buy I think it was the rear leaf springs from it. It's 3/4 ton truck. Why would you need leaf springs from that? But he said he couldn't get them. The ones that were mine were the right ones for his. He couldn't buy them new.
Wow.
What
well, the reason I ask that is because one part that they make may go to multiple applications. It's basically what I was trying to say.
Like
Yeah.
one of my followers, he makes bearings for Ford, GM, I think some import stuff or whatever, but his factory, they're a supporting factory and they make like the Timken bearings and stuff like that. And he's like a foreman or something on the floor with his guys. And he said, it's really, really hurting us, man, because like a huge portion of like who we did business with was the American side, and they really kept us afloat. And now we're just barely able to have some people working because we're still supporting the import side. But our biggest, buyer was the American side. And we got a lot of people at home right now because we just can't keep them busy.
Wow. And I know even though that these companies make parts for everybody, it's the way they mount up, like the actual housings and stuff.
Yeah.
That differ. So, I mean, it'd be cool if you could, one size fits all type deal, but it's not like
Hell
that.
So we all be working in the same dealership. Put all the other techs out of business, all of us. Man, I tell you what, Aaron, it's that idea that me, you, and Crowdy and Ray and everybody was talking about. Anthony CP, we start our own damn dealership.
Bruh.
Nothing but service, no sales. Just nothing but
Bruh.
service.
I mean, we could sell trucks.
We could even
Well,
sell
yeah,
trucks too, man. It could be like the
QVM.
ultimate dealership experience, like putting all dealers out of business. I don't know.
Dude.
Anyway,
We
That would be
would.
insane, man.
Monstrous.
could you imagine like within the first like 10 years, it'd be like 500 dealerships across the United States, and then next thing you know, it's 1,000 20 years later, and then it's like, man, these guys are shipping cars all over the United States, people buying from them and keeping the YouTube channels at the same time. Shoo! Wouldn't be no dealers. Would be us.
Wow, this dude, I don't know if he's watching the live stream, but he just texted me on Instagram. This is what somebody just Instagrams me. So glad I did it.
Oh,
Nice.
Everybody.
yeah.
Like straight
Damn.
up.
Whoa. Hey,
Straight up.
he didn't put a suicide strap on that.
I know, I saw that. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
gonna roll right out.
That's not all right there.
That's not okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ray
somebody
Bucks
call
is
him all
gonna-
the comments.
If
Yeah,
it was
buttons
in
have
Florida,
wheels
it's
for a reason.
fine. It'd only need one strap in Florida.
As long as you flick it first and say that's not going anywhere.
Well, I
That's like
guess-
what every guy does when he ties something down. Like you said, you flip the strap.
Yeah,
That's not going anywhere.
that's exactly right. If you don't say it, it can go somewhere.
Right.
As we get to the end here, I want to not forget the recalls that are out. By golly, I can't believe how many are out, and I must have missed it. We have some today, one that came out 2 days ago. This is came out today. Customer Satisfaction Program 22N14. These are only for 2011 and 2012, over 10-year-old trucks equipped with a diesel, and that is failing state inspections and or the maintenance test. If you have these two DTCs, P2073 and or P2074, there is going to be a reprogram available, but there is some stipulations that the dealer has to go through in order for that reprogram to take place. One of which they need to have a photocopy or picture of something uploaded into the what's the SCC? What's that stand for? The special.
No.
SSSC.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a
Special service.
something or other.
Satisfaction, cause I don't know. I don't remember. I just
We
clicked
have
on
to get
SSSC.
we have to get approval and more time. We have to contact Ford, and they are requiring to see pictures of the failed emissions test and pictures of the DTCs on the scan tool. So if you have a 2011 and 2012 and you're living in the state that needs to fall off the side of the map, and they included Delaware in that, then you're going to have some satisfaction programming being able to take place. Okay,
So
moving right
it needs
along.
prior- It needs prior
How
approval.
is warranty with Ford? Is it easily claim?
E-
Is it easy to claim warranty, or do you got to jump through hoops?
Hey,
Uh,
check this out. 2023 Dash, completely pulled out, $100,000 truck. Took me a day and a half. I got paid 5.7.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Hey,
no straight time.
Fluffy.
no.
They stick it to you a lot, man. When they started doing some weird stuff with
Mm-mm.
like let's just say to pull a customer's car in, Fluffy, you can get, if you claim it right, you can put all your labor ops on there, try to figure out and justify why you're asking for what you're asking. You might get 0.2, 0.3 to pull a vehicle in, put it in the stall, hook it up to a scanner. And they might give you
Yep.
0.2 to do this, 0.1 to do that, 0.5 to do this. So 20C19 came out when they started doing a camera recall.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And one of my main points that I still use today, and I use it in these seminars when I talk about warranty and labor stuff, is when that recall came out on those T250s and above, and you wanted us to replace that camera, we got to pull the vehicle in. We got to go to the parts office. We got to get the part. We got to come back to the vehicle. We have to separate the plastic on the back of the truck, sometimes breaking the clips. And then we got to see if we have the clips or try to rearrange them back there so the motherfucker stays up, because you ain't got none. And I damn sure ain't going to leave it in my stall or put it back in the parking lot for a couple broken clips. So I'll rearrange the clips so it still holds, and it might just be missing 2 clips or something if we ain't got them. And I put the camera and stuff in. Then I got to pull out the laptop. Then I got to get in the vehicle and program everything in it. LIN module initiated, line in network initiated. 0.3.
Mm.
How?
It's
How?
Not,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
not worth
understand
it,
that.
man.
But then
A
it
lot of
tells you
people-
you can't use this labor operation with this labor operation. Cannot be combined with this labor
Mhm.
operation. So now you're just back to square one.
Is there a
Yeah.
limit on how many op codes you can use? Labor op codes?
As long as they all fit in with each other, there's no limit. But
Like you can't take trans R&R when you're replacing the engine and an
Yeah.
EVAP part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it. I want to say with Nissan we're limited to 5.
No.
Per
Just
line.
5 operations.
Yeah.
For real?
No.
No, that's not true.
Like
If
what if you
there's
got
tw-
like a engine replacement and you got engine repair, you got the computer test, you got compression test, you got fuel pressure
test drive.
test.
Well, where I'm at, that's what they were telling us. I don't know how true
What?
it is.
you know, some it could be also some warranty administrators being lazy, because whenever
Mm,
I would go into the office and my warranty girl would start putting everything in, she was always pretty good. The newer warranty girl that we got, she would call me in the office and be like, "Hey, Rich, like I know you got like 10 labor ops." I was like, "Yeah, it's a 16-hour job or whatever, and this is what it took for me to get there."
book
And
that shit now.
my stories are all meticulous. Like you have to really, really write a good story to justify why you're trying to get that time. And I never had anything bounce back on me because of how thorough I would write my stories. But she was like, like this labor op right here, even though you're asking for it, and I can see that it does fit when I go to put it in the computer, it keeps kicking it back for some reason. I'm like, bro, that's an hour and a half for that labor op. Why would it be kicking it back? It goes right with the job that I did to get there. Why does it keep? Oh, I don't know. We're not going to be able to get it to go through. We can't pay you on this.
Internal.
What you mean you can't pay me on this? You better give me some manager time or something like that. I'm not eating that time. No. We can't do that. So sometimes you get screwed.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
for sure.
and
What's
that's
this?
why a lot of techs like doing customer pay jobs and not warranty work. They just don't want to do warranty work.
Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't even waste my time storing out some lines, and I was just no charge because I wasn't going to waste my time going through looking out. It was couldn't verify it or something, or had to do some testing, but wound up not finding anything. It's like, you know what, dude, it ain't even worth my time to story this fucking thing out.
Get kickbacks for like stupid shit too. Like I
Mhm.
got a warranty kickback for a zip tie. Remember that?
Yeah.
Stupid zip tie. They made me
Wow.
go to the parts department and bill out a zip tie because it wasn't on the parts list. I'm like, a zip tie? Like,
What the fuck?
and then they had to resubmit it.
The Ranger heater box, Aaron, that I did, where I put the whole heater box in because that's how I read the TSB. And I was like, I need a box. And I gave the TSB to the parts manager so he could read it. And he was like, okay, yeah, I'm reading it. Looks like you need a box. So we ordered the box. I put the box in the car because the 19, 20, 21 Rangers, or 19 and 20 really, whenever you change between the different modes, it would click, 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 and you have to change the whole box because there's a defect in the box. So I thought, okay, give me the box. I put it in, done, like brand new, customer's happy, go on about my day, no problem, submit everything goes through, doesn't flag anything. Next day I get another one in. They're like, okay, go ahead and start gearing up for another one. Okay, give me another box. And then I get another one by the end of the day. Okay, give me another box. So I got 2 boxes on order. And then all of a sudden, before they even got here, by the end of the day, the service manager comes out and he's like, hey man, they got flagged. It's like, what do you mean it got flagged? He was like, they're gonna work with us on it because something was up with the TSB, but you were only supposed to replace the upper half of the HVAC box. Like if you go back now and read the TSB, it says only replace the upper half of the plenum, like the box. It don't do the whole entire thing. So we got to eat like $650 of that $1,200 box now because it's changed in the literature to say only the upper half of the box gets replaced, not the whole thing. Well,
That's like
how's that
that's
my
like-
fault?
That's like when they changed that oil consumption TSB from long blocks to reprogram on the F-150s.
Oh yeah, and a different dipstick.
Yeah, I had one dealer send a message in saying, we have 15 long blocks for this TSB. What do we do?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my god.
I guess if it was before the change, you're good. But
How are those long blocks? Are those 5 liters? Are they still having issues?
oh yeah. Yeah. There's no NGs. There's no NG heads. There are some heads for the regular cars, for regular 5 liters.
Yeah.
I seen a guy the other day looking for NG heads. I said, yeah, it's probably my fault they're gone.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I
Listen
told
to
him,
that sinister laugh.
I told him, send them out to modular head shop or a machine shop and get them reworked. I mean, that's all you can do, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know if you weren't in the mix for that, Fluffy. The 18, 19, and 20 5-liter V8s were like a spray arc liner and the cylinder liners. And they started consuming oil like 20,000, 30,000 miles. And then I guess I didn't know about that. Like you just put some shit in my head now that I didn't even know about, Cody. I didn't know the original TSB wasn't the reprogramming the dipstick. It actually had a long block TSB out before that one, and I didn't get to see it. But basically, what they would have you do is they would have you do this consumption deal on these vehicles. You put a long block in it. I guess they changed the TSB to on the 18s, put a longer dipstick. It has a longer window so you can monitor consumption better. It's a 2-quart window versus a 1-quart window. And then on the 19s, they already came with it, and the 20s already came with it. And then you would reprogram the computer. So whenever the vehicle would go to decel, it would blurp open the throttle. It would pull less vacuum on the valve train. So it'd be less consumption. And they would want to see if that would stop the consumption in the 5-liter. And some guys said it got better, but it never really. So you're losing like 3.5, 4.5, 5 quarts in between, a 4,000 or 5,000 mile oil change.
That's wild.
And it's like an 8-quart capacity vehicle. And people are like,
Why does
But
my
you-
thing sound like a diesel?
yeah, and it sounds like a dang diesel. And a lot of times it won't even flag in
Alkane's
the oil light.
screaming.
Dude, and
People
you know
are like-
what? You know what sucks? When they come out with TSBs, you lose your diag. You lose
Yeah.
certain things because they have already found a issue or the diagnosis for you.
I
Same
never even
thing.
thought about that. That's some bullshit because and
Mhm.
it's not even, that wasn't even the fix. What they did wasn't the fix. The customers would still come back and they'd still be chewing up oil and stuff like that. And then they're like, oh yeah, you need a long block. Well, what can I do for a long block? Cody helped me with some stuff out, but we needed like 3 long blocks at one time. And I had to wait
Damn.
almost 11 months.
Damn.
One came in 10 months. The other one came in 11 months. And I ended up getting a natural gas long block because it was the same exact thing, except beefed up a little bit. And I was able to get one of my really good customers that still followed me over to my independent shop today. He drops all his fleet vehicles off with me. And he's got a brand new upgraded, thanks to Cody helping me out. Natural what was it, propane or natural gas?
Natural gas.
A natural gas 5 liter. It's got better like valve seats, springs, valves. They're hardened. They're or just it's just a different type of hardened valve or something like that. It's a better setup. So I beefed up this dude's engine, got him the little bit better engine valve train set up, and he said that actually fixed his problem, but he hasn't been putting a lot of miles on it. He's afraid, just like all the other customers, when we put these new engines in there, it's the same exact thing going right back in it. Like, what was the change? What did they do to the blocks once they got them back and refurbished? They just redid the same thing all over again, right?
It was the same thing when I worked at Subaru. They had the oil consumption recall. It was the piston rings is what was
Yeah.
wrong with it.
Yeah.
They'd send us a new short block and we, put the heads and everything on it, but it was the exact same piston rings.
Yeah.
Exact same.
Same with Hyundai. Same with Hyundai and Kia. They're saying that all they're doing is rebearing, rebushing them, put them right back out, cleaning them up. and sending them-
When Hondas had they have VCM problems, they consume oil. The fix was pistons and rings for the rear bank. The same parts that are on the front bank, the same parts they just took out, they replaced, they're just new.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what the Kia, the Kia dude at the corporate office that saw my video go viral on this girl that we were trying to help. He was like, dude, all we're doing is we're just putting new bearings and stuff in them, cleaning them up, new piston rings, and we send them back out. And they start consuming oil 10, 15,000 miles later all over again. He's like, with some of these customers that we've redone these engines, what we're hearing that they've already been done 4 and 5 times. They've got new engines. So it's right now it's it's kind of a rough time for a lot of manufacturers right now.
Oh yeah. Well, if they made, I don't know, I hate to say this, if they made vehicles less complicated or at least easier to service, more user friendly, I mean that would be. I feel like that would go a long way with a lot of owners of these cars.
Yeah. My parts manager has a 19 right now with 50,000 miles on it. It's been at the dealer for a month. And now I think they're finally putting an engine in this Hyundai. And then I just had one come in the other day. It was a 19 Kia Optima with 60,000 miles on it. This guy's already had the knock stuff done like a year ago. He'd come back in, the engine knocking like a son of a gun. Yep, now he needs an engine. And it's another one of those things where some of our customers have already gotten 2 or 3 engines.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's not, now it's not a good time.
No.
I'm telling you, if anyone gets oil consumption problems with those F-150s, they just need to send the engines out and have them relined and have the valve guides redone and put them back together with new pistons and rings. It fixes them. It'll fix them.
What about sleeving them?
Yeah, send them out, have them sleeved.
So sleeve them, new pistons, new rings, valve guides, new gas.
Fix all the problems.
Put it back together and it'd be like just like the previous F-150, the 17 and before model that didn't have oil consumption problems. My 15 does great. My 15, same engine, except it's not the spray shit or whatever. And I don't use no oil in that thing. It runs like to me, I know it's a little bit of a bias, but to me, it's the best half-ton truck that they've.
Yeah,
made.
I bought I had a wrecked 15 come in, original engine, 262,000 miles on it, ran perfect, quiet, no valve train noise.
My
love
11 FX4 was like 200 something thousand miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the 15 to 17 because you could still get the 6-speed with the V8 and it was the aluminum body that didn't rot out. And
I would rather have a steel body myself.
yeah,
Mine was a 6-speed.
I mean, I guess you could say the steel body would be a little bit stronger. I like the 15 to 17 better. I like the light better.
They look better and they're nicer on the inside. I mean, and they're a lot lighter. So
yeah, I mean, it does what I need it to do, man. I've loaded that thing down with some heavy shit and it's taken it every bit of it and asked for more. So I'm like, you know what? And they make a lot of aftermarket parts for it, so I love it.
I have no time SEMA is next week. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be there, if you're gonna be in the area, I have a couple trucks to program. I'm gonna be bringing the computer. We got some forescan, we got some PCM and TCM updates. We're gonna do to A21, and maybe
While you're there,
yeah, let a little man program his dad's truck. But we'll see. Might meet up with some followers at the event.
I got a bunch of shop owners coming to meet us upstairs where we're gonna be at. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I hope you guys all have a great rest of the night. Big shout out to Fluffy for coming in, hanging out. Eric,
Yes,
I do
sir,
cars.
always.
Cliffy Whiffy hanging in the mud like a doggy dog. Yo, daddy. We see you. Appreciate you guys stopping through. Bearded Ford Tech. See you. Peace. See ya.